Dear students, welcome to Learning Management System, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Groundwater Engineering, Unit 6, Water Resource Engineering. Course title is 15C52T, Session 46, 5th semester, Civil Engineering. Before starting this session, we have a recap of session 45, where fish ladder and differences between weir and barrage was discussed briefly. Coming to the fish ladder. Fish ladder is provided just by the side of the divide wall for the free movement of the fishes. Fishes moves from upstream to downstream during winter and from downstream to upstream during monsoon. Fish ladder is essential for the movement of the fishes. Fish ladder consists of number of compartments arranged in the form of step to allow the movement of the fishes. Since the water in the upstream side has some velocity in it, to reduce that velocity up to 3 meters per second, this fish ladder is constructed. The width, length and height of the fish ladder depends upon the nature of the river and the type of the weir or the barrage portion. Now coming to the differences between weir and barrage. Weir. The initial cost of construction of the weir is very less since it is a low-rise low-rise wall. Coming to the barrage, it's since it has some height, it has considerable height, hence the construction cost is high. Most of the water stored by masonry or solid wall in the weir. Most of the water stored by the raised gates in case of the barrages. This is the difference. And coming to the weir, crust is set at the high level. In case barrage, crust is set at the low level. Chances of silting on upstream is more in case of weir. Silt entry into the canal is controlled by the operating gauge in case of the barrages. And the weir lacks or effective control on the rivers during flood, but it's not in case of the barrage. The barrage has the good control during the floods. In case of weir, it is not possible to provide the road or a road on the top of the bridge, but in case of the barrage, a roadway can be conveniently provided over the structure. Now coming to the session 46. After learning this session, student will be able to explain about the groundwater and its importance, its advantages, its occurrence. What is groundwater? It is engineering which deals with the occurrence, distribution and movement of the water that has infiltrated and passed downward into the earth. Occurrence ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಂಭವಿಸುವುದು, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಬರಾಜು ಮಾಡುವುದು, ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಲನ. So all these three phenomena are interrelated and the groundwater is generated. Now, this groundwater occurs beneath the water table, where in the soils and the geological formations. The geological formations are faults and the bedrocks which are present in the earth crust that are fully saturated. Now, groundwater is important source of the water supply throughout the world, where it is used for the irrigation, industries, municipal water supply. The amount of the water stored in the earth crust, it is of the order 8 billion meter cube, which is half of which is at a depth lesser than the 800 meters below the earth crust. This water inside the earth crust is about 35 times, which is combined storage of all the world resources such as world groundwater resources such as rivers, freshwater lakes and the reservoirs, which are the source of the groundwater. The groundwater is used for the domestic, municipal, industrial water supply and as well as the irrigation, which I explained in the previous slide. The greatest demand of the groundwater in the recent trends is for agriculture, and day by day it is increasing. At the present, nearly 1/5 of the water used in the world is obtained from the groundwater. Out of this water, 80% is used only for the irrigation or the agriculture. Coming to the advantages part. Advantage of the groundwater when it is compared with the surface water resources. We have surface water resources and subsurface water resources is groundwater. Groundwater is made available for areas where surface water is utilized for other uses. Now, groundwater is made available within few hundred meters deep into the earth crust where it is required for the irrigation. And the groundwater which yields from the water which yields from the wells, they generally exhibit very less fluctuations than the surface stream flow where they dry in alternate wet and dry periods. Compared to the surface water resources, groundwater are free from the effect of the pollutants. It is more uniform in the quality of the water, temperature, chemical composition of the groundwater is very good, and soluble mineral content is good than the surface water. Groundwater is free from the weed seeds, it is free from the plant organisms, free from turbidity and no bacterial pollution since it is available deep into the earth crust and it is not coming in contact with any of the pollutants. Now this is the pictorial representation which shows the land surface where trees are there. When there is a precipitation, water falls on the land surface and this water is percolated into the earth surface. We have a unsaturated zone at the top and below it there is a water table. This water table is the table where groundwater is available. This is the saturated zone. We have a falls, rocks are there where groundwater fills the spaces between these soil particles and the fractured rock beneath the earth surface, and this is the surface where groundwater is generated. This is the surface water, this is the groundwater. Groundwater is also called as subsurface water. This is the gravel part which is available in the deep into the earth crust where in between the pores or the voids there are blue color patches are the water which is available. Coming to this pictorial representation here, this is the mountainous part, this is the stream part, this is the soil zone, surface water, and this is the water table, and this is the pictorial representation which shows about the groundwater. Now we have to go into small groundwater animated video.
The Earth is roughly 70% water. However, only 3% of this water is fresh water. Much of this fresh water is frozen in glaciers.
Yes, fresh
You'll
water.
find some of the
3%.
water in rivers and lakes. But almost 30% of this fresh water is groundwater. But what is groundwater? Welcome to Moo Math and Science and Groundwater. Groundwater is water that finds its way between the gaps of rocks and sediments underground. As the water seeps into the ground, it may find its way into an aquifer. Aquifers are large underground rock layers saturated with groundwater. An aquifer is not an underground river, but large porous layers.
These are the pores.
For example, the
where
Floridian
water starts
aquifer
filling
covers
these
the
pores
entire
below
state
the
of
earth
Florida
crust.
and is over 100,000 square miles. Think of an aquifer like a huge underground sponge that soaks up the water that falls to the surface of the earth. If you grabbed a shovel and started digging straight down, you may strike water. The first water you strike is called the water table. Below the water table,
This is the land surface, unsaturated zone. This is the water table, and this is the saturated zone. This first water I will discuss you.
Unsaturated zone. So how does this water end up in the ground? When it rains, some of the water moves down into the ground. If this water moves deep enough, it can stay there for a long time, like thousands of years. However, not all of the groundwater stays underground. Much of the surface water comes from groundwater and aquifers. If the ground dips below the water table, the groundwater will flow to the surface and may create a body of surface water, like a lake. Groundwater can also flow out of the water and create a stream. This is called a spring.
It's the stream.
However, some groundwater is so deep that it's difficult to get to. These bodies of groundwater are called confined groundwater. Humans depend on groundwater for drinking water and for growing crops. This groundwater can be reached by digging a well. There are thousands and thousands of wells throughout the world that provide drinking water and water for our crops. If you'd like to know more about groundwater, this playlist will help. And as always, thanks for watching.
This is the animated video of groundwater. Now we will come across some definitions related with the groundwater. Soil water. The water stored in the upper layers of the soil from the ground surface up to the extent of the root plants. This is a land surface area. It's called as soil water. What is the water? It's a water stored below in the region between the soil and the capillary fringe. Between the soil water zone and the capillary fringe. I'll explain the next slides. Next, capillary water. Capillary water has risen from the saturated groundwater region due to the capillary action. Capillary water has risen from the saturated groundwater region due to the capillary action. Naturally, the pressure here would be less than atmospheric pressure. Now, groundwater table. It's an imaginary surface within the earth crust, the ground below, which all the voids of the soil are permeable rocks here, which are completely filled with the water. Hence, it is called as groundwater table. Now, occurrence of the groundwater. How the groundwater has occurred. The main source of the groundwater is precipitation. Part of the precipitation that falls on the land surface infiltrates into the soil. This infiltrated water or percolated water replenishes the soil moisture or is used by growing the plants and returned to the atmosphere by the transpiration. It's a one process. Other than this, after this process of absorbing the water and returning back to the atmosphere by transpiration to the plants, the other water which is left unused drains downward or percolates below the root zone of the plants or the trees. It reaches a level at which the openings or the voids or the pores in the earth's material are filled with the water. There are two zones. First zone is zone of aeration and another one is saturated zone. The zone where water drains downward below the root zone, where it finally reaches the openings or the voids, and where the earth materials are filled with water, it is called as zone of saturation. This zone of saturation is called as groundwater. Now, in this zone, there is a vertical distribution which is divided into two types, that is zone of aeration and saturated zone. This is the pictorial representation which shows the zone of aeration and saturated zone. See, this is the mountainous part, this is the mountainous part or hilly part, where this is the marshy area. This is the stream which is flowing from the mountains. During the precipitation, water starts falling on the mountainous, and since the water starts falling from higher altitude to the lower altitude, it is collected in the form of streams. This I have shown while showing in my animated video also. In the last second, there was a stream of water which was flowing in the valley area of the mountainous part. This is the stream which is flowing. Next, in the earth crust, there are two zones. One is zone of aeration and another one is zone of saturation. In zone of aeration, the soil present here, in zone of aeration, the soil present here has voids or the pores, and it is partially filled with the water. But in saturated zone, if we need water from the groundwater, then this zone from where we need water is available and can be used for pumping or digging the wells also. Coming to the saturated zone. This is the zone of aeration. Now this is the saturated zone. Saturated zone comprises of soil rocks in which has pores and which allow water which are present in the rocks, and there are some fractures or some bed rocks where groundwater enters into these fractures. Hence this saturation zone is divided into four parts, that is aquifer, aquitard, aquiclude and aquifinge. And in the zone of aeration, the atmospheric pressure, the pressure here will be at the terms of the atmospheric pressure, and the zone of aeration is divided into three parts. One is soil water zone, intermediate zone and capillary fringe. I have told that capillary fringe I will be explaining this in further slide. Now I will be explaining the capillary fringe. What is capillary fringe? Capillary fringe is nothing but it is the water which comes from the capillary action. Capillary fringe is the water which comes from the capillary action. And what happens? There are in these three zones, there is in the zone of aeration there are three zones: soil water zone, intermediate zone and capillary fringe. Soil water zone at the top, intermediate zone in the middle and the capillary fringe at the bottom. In the capillary zone, water comes from the capillary action. So this is the pictorial representation which shows the zone of aeration and zone of saturation. Right. Next. Importance of groundwater. Importance of groundwater. Groundwater provides the largest source of usable water storage. Underground reservoirs which contains far more water than the capacity of all surface reservoirs, lakes including the greater lakes. So groundwater it provides a largest source of the usable water. It is the largest reservoir of the fresh water also, which is readily available, just we have to dig the well. It also helps in growing our food also. It is important component in many industrial processes, where many industries get their water for the processing from the groundwater itself, other than depending upon the surface water, since it is polluted water. Next, groundwater is a source of recharge for the lakes, rivers and wetlands. At least a quarter of the world's population draws its water from the groundwater supplies. Now coming to the MCQs. Groundwater is an important source of water supply which can be applied for, given options are irrigation industries, formation of the galleries, recharge well, none of the above. Yes, groundwater, its advantages or its benefits are, it is used for the irrigation and industries. So answer is A. Second one. At present, nearly dash of the water used in the world is obtained from the groundwater resources. I explained to that. At present, given options are 1/5, 1/3, 1/4 and 1/7. Answer is A, which is 1/5 discussed to in the earlier slides. That is 1/5 of the water used in the world is obtained from the groundwater resources. Answer is A, 1/5. Out of available water, dash percent is used for the agriculture. Given are 30, 20, 80 and 15%. Since more water is used for the agriculture, which is the answer is 80%, which I discussed earlier. Answer is C, that is 80%. Advantages of groundwater are listed below. Choose the correct one. First one, it is free from weed seeds, plant organisms. Groundwater is a source of recharge for lakes. Groundwater is water found in the pores of soil. These all of the above. Advantage of the groundwater is since it doesn't have any turbidity, no bacterial pollution, no plant organisms, no weed seeds. Hence answer is A, which is it is where groundwater is free from weed seeds and plant organisms. Answer is A. Fifth one, the water stored in the upper layers of the soil from the ground surface up to the extent of roots of plants is known as dash. It's a definition where answer is A is soil, B is Wadosa water, C is capillary water, D is water table. The water which is stored in the upper layers of the soil from the ground surface up to the extent of the root. It's the surface water. The surface will be having only soil. The answer is A. That is soil water. Answer is A. Sixth one, the zone below the roots where openings or voids in the earth's material are filled with water is known as dash. So we have zone of saturation, zone of aeration, Wadosa water and stream. Answer is I have discussed that in the zone of saturation, the openings or the voids or the materials are filled with the water. We have two zones. One zone is zone of saturation, saturated zone. Answer is A, that is zone of saturation. Seventh, the zone where pores are filled with gases in addition to water is known as dash. Saturated water, saturated zone, unsaturated zone, mark zone and wet zone. Here, the zones where the pores are filled with gases in addition to the water is answer is B, that is unsaturated zone. 8th, vertical distribution of subsurface water may be divided into two types. So I explained earlier. Zone of aeration, saturated zone, capillary zone, unsaturated zone, surface and subsurface water, all of the above. There are two zones, that is zone of aeration, saturated zone, where it is vertically distributed. I have shown you in the pictorial representation. That is zone of aeration, saturated zone. Answer is A. That is zone of aeration, saturated zone. Thank you one and all.